Now, this is our second lesson on fractions, and today we're looking at word problem on fractions. Let's consider this example. A boy spent 3/8 of his money and had 15 cedis left. How much did he have? Now, one thing that we are supposed to note is that the total fraction on the money is equal to 1. So, total fraction, that is equal to 1. Now, we are being told that a boy spent 3/8 of his money. So, fraction spent, that will be, we are being told is 3/8 of his money. Now, what do you think will be fraction left? Fraction left. Now, the total fraction is 1, and then we have spent 3/8. So that will be 1 minus 3/8. Now, we can change the 1 to be, that is 8/8. 8 minus 3, that's 5. So we are going to get, that is 5/8. Now, we have to note that the fraction left would correspond to the amount left. So we have to note always fraction left will correspond to amount left. That is, we are being told that N had 15 cedis left. So the fraction left, which is 5/8. So that is 5/8 would correspond to the 15 cedis. Now, the question says, how much did he have? The total, let's suppose that the total amount is X. Hence, 1, which is the total fraction, will also correspond to the X. Now, 5/8 and 1. Clearly, 1 is more than the 5/8. So, if more, let's divide. Hence, the total amount X will be equal to what? 1 divided by 5/8 times 15. Now, division will change to what? Multiplication. We reciprocate the second term. So you have 1 times 8/5 times 15. Now, 5 will go into itself 1. 5 will go into 15. That is 3 times. Now, what is 8 times 3? And this will give us 24. Now, the question says that how much did he have? So, the boy had, that is 24 cedis. And because it is currency, it should be into decimal places, so 24.00. This is very, very trivial. Make sure that you subscribe and also share the video with your friends. We have a whole lot of videos that will help you pass your exams with ease. Let's consider the next example. Now, let's consider this example. This is WASSCE 2019, question number 13b. A clerk spends 1/5, 1/3, and 1/8 of his annual salary on rent, transport, and entertainment, respectively. If after all these expenses he had 4,100 cedis left, find how much he earns per annum. Clearly, you are being told that what the amount left is what? 4,100. Hence, the fraction left will correspond to what? The amount left. Now, we have to note that total fraction on his annual salary is equal to 1. Now, fraction spent, that is fraction spent on rent, transport, and entertainment. That will be 1/5 plus 1/3 plus 1/8. Or probably let me coin it as total fraction spent. Now, what is 1/5 plus 1/3 plus 1/8? You can work it out, and this is just 79 all over 120. Now, what is a fraction left? So after all this expenditure, now fraction left, that will be total fraction, which is 1 minus the fraction which is spent, which is 79 all over 120. Now, we can change this as what? 120 over 120 because of the denominator as 120 over here. 120 minus 79, and this is 41. So here our answer is 41 all over 120. Now, let's note the fraction left will correspond to the amount left. Hence, that is 41 all over 120. This will correspond to, that is 4,100. Now, and then also the total amount, that's the total fraction, will correspond to the total amount, which is x, we don't know. Now, 41 over 120 and 1 is more. So here we say that if more, let's divide. Hence, our x will be equal to 1 divided by, that is 41 all over 120 times 4,100. Now, division we change to a multiplication, and we reciprocate the second term. So here we have 1 times 120 all over 41 times 4,100. Now, this 41 will go into this 41, that's 1, and then bring the 2 zeros. And here, 120 times 100, and this is just 12,000. Now, the question says that if after all these expenses he had 4,000, that is 4,100 cedis left, find how much he earns per annum. So he earns, that is 12,000. Please, because it is currency, that will be 0.00. He earns this per annum, which is very, very easy. Let's consider the next example. Now let's consider this example. This is the VEC 2003, question number 3b. A man spends 1/9 of his monthly salary on rent, 1/2 on food, and 1/4 on clothes and other items. Now let's see. So total fraction on his monthly salary. So total fraction, this will be equal to, on the monthly salary is equal to 1. Now let's see total fraction spent. Now total fraction spent, that will be your 1/9 plus 1/2 and then plus 1/4. Clearly the LCM is 36. Now we're going to 36. 4 times 4 times 1. So 4. 2 going 36, that is 18. 18 times 1. So that's 18. And then 4 will go into 36. That is 9 times. 9 times 1. So we have 9. Now this will give us, that is 22. 22 plus 9, that's 31. So that is 31 all over 36. Now we are being told that if he has 19,500 cedis left, so it means that the fraction left will correspond to the amount left. So let's see, what is the fraction left? Fraction left, that'll be 1 minus the fraction spent, which is 31 all over 36. And here we can make the LCM the same, as in, we can make it as in 36 over 36, which is the same as 1, because the denominator here is 36, and this will give us 5 over 36. So this is just 5 all over 36. Now, the fraction left will correspond to the amount left. So 5 over 36, this would map onto, that's a 19,500. And then 1 whole map onto x. Now, if more, let's divide. So from here, we are saying that x will be equal to 1 divided by 5 over 36 times 1,9,500. Now, this would give us, that is 1 times 36 over 5. Why? We have to reciprocate the second term, then times 1,9,500. Now, how many times of 5 go into this? And that will be 3900. And when we multiply this, we are going to get, that is 140,400. You can check it. This is what we are going to get. And this is the amount that he earns in a month. That is very, very easy. I believe that you understood it. If not, please go back, play back the video for better understanding. Share also to your friends so that they get to know about this page. And the books too that you are seeing on the screen, make sure you get a copy for yourself. No pain, no gain. Now let's consider this example. A farmer uses 1/3 of his land to plant cassava, 2/5 of the remaining. So after using the first one, 2/5 of the remaining land to plant maize, and the rest vegetables. If vegetables cover an area of 10 acres, what is the total area of the farmer's land? So here we can say that clearly total fraction on the land, this is equal to 1. Now what is the fraction that is used for cassava? So fraction for cassava, we are being told is what? 1/3. And then we are being told that 2/5 of the remaining land to plant maize. So let's find the fraction left. Now we should remember total is 1. We've used 1/3. So fraction left will be 1 minus 1/3. And this is just 2/3. So this is the fraction left, or the fraction remaining. Then we are being told that he used 2/5 of the remaining land to plant maize. So fraction for maize, fraction for planting maize. Now we are being told that is 2/5 of the remaining, which is 2/3. And now here, 2 times 2, 4, 5 times 3, this is 15. So fraction for maize is 4/15. Now let's see, it says 2/5 of the remaining land to plant maize, and the rest vegetables. The rest is vegetables. Now fraction still left. Now the total fraction is 1. I've used 1 of it to plant cassava. Then I've used 4/15 to plant maize. The rest is for vegetables. So let's find the rest. So first one, 1, the total is 1. And then I've used 1/3 for cassava. And then 4/15 for maize. So 4/15 for maize. Now, what is the LCM? The LCM clearly is 15. This is over 1. 1 will go into 15. 15 times 1, we have 15. 3 will go into 15 5 times that, so we have 5. And then here minus 4. So we have 15 minus 5, that is 10, minus 4, so that is 6. So we have 6 all over 15. Now 3 will go into 6, 2. 3 will go into 15, that is 5. So we have 2 all over 5. Now, we are being told that the rest, so this is the one, this is a fraction for vegetable. It says that 2/5 the remaining land to plant maize, and the rest vegetables. So fraction for vegetables, fraction for planting vegetables is equal to 2/5. Now, it went on further to say that if vegetables cover an area of 10 acres, so it means that this 2/5, this will correspond to the acres, which is 10 acres. Now, the question is, what is the total area of the farmer's land? Now, the total area, total is 1. We don't know the total acres, so let's denote it by x. Now, if more, let's divide. If more, let's divide. Hence, our x will be equal to 1 divided by the less, which is 2/5 times 10. Now division we change to multiplication. So you have our x to be 1 times 5 over 2 times 10. Now let's see, 2 going to solve 1, 2 going to 10, 5 times 5, 25. So the total will be what? 25 acres. That is very, very easy. If you've not subscribed, please make sure that you do that and then share the videos to others. Can you see the books on your screen? Yes, very good books. Try and get a copy for yourself. It will help you. Now let's consider this example. Mr. Kunodu spent 3 over 5 of his monthly salary on food, 1 over 4 of the remainder on house rent, 1 over 3 of what still remained on water and electricity bills. If he still had 1,200 cedis left, find his monthly salary. So here, now total fraction on the salary is equal to 1. Now, we are being told that he spent 3 over 5 of his monthly salary on food. So fraction on food. Fraction on food. That is 3 over 5. Now let's find the remaining or fraction left. Fraction left. That will be, the total is 1 and then he has spent 3 over 5 of it. So the remainder will be 1 minus 3 over 5, and this is just equal to 2 over 5. Now, we are being told that 1/4 of the remainder on house rent. So fraction on house rent. Fraction on house rent. So we are being told that 1/4 of the remainder, so 1 over 4 of the remainder. Now the left one is for 2 over 5. Now 2 going to solve 1. 2 going to 4, that is 2 times. So we have 1 over 10. 1 times 1, 1. 2 times 5, that is 10. So 1/4 of the remainder on house rent. And then 1/3 of what still remained. What still remained? So fraction still left. Now the total is 1, and then he spent 3 over 5 on food. So minus 3 over 5 on food. And then house rent, that is 1 over 10. So we have 1 over 10. Now from here, what is the LCM? The LCM is 10. And then this over 1 will go into 10. 10 times, 2 times 1. So you have 10. Now 5 going to 10, that is 2 times 3, we have 6. And then 10 will cancel 10, so we have 1. And this is just equal to 3 over 10. So fraction still left is 3 over 10. And then we are being told that 1/3 of what still remain on water and electricity bills. So we can say that from here, fraction on bills. Now we are being told 1/3 of what still remained on bills. So 1 over 3 times, that is 3 over 10. And this is the same as 1 over 10. Why? This 3 and then that 3 will cancel out. Now we are being told if he still had 1,200 left. And this is telling us what? The fraction that will still be left will correspond to the amount left. This amount left, which is what? 1,200. So after all this, the fraction which is left. So fraction still left. The total is 1. Use 3 over 5 on food. 1 over 10. 1 over 10 on rent. And then 1 over 10 on bills, so minus 1 over 10. And this, the LCM is 10. We have here 10 minus 6 minus 1 minus 1. So we have 2 over 10. 10 minus 6, that is 4 minus 1, 3 minus 1, 2. Now 2 going to 1, 2 go into 10, that is 5. So you have 1 over 5. Now this is telling us what? That 1 over 5 will correspond to the amount left. So 1 over 5, this will correspond to the amount left, which is 1,200. Now 1, the total will correspond to x. Now if more, let's divide. If more, let's divide. So you have our x equal to 1 divided by 1 over 5 times 1,200. So you have 1 times 5 over 1 times 1,200. And this is giving us, that is 6,000. And we shouldn't forget to bring to, that is 0.00. Why? Because it is currency. So the question is asking, the first one says that find his monthly salary. Hence, his monthly salary is 6,000. That is very, very easy. So we shouldn't forget that fraction left will correspond to the amount left. Now let's see the second one. Now, second one, we are being told how much did he spend on food. Now, what is the fraction on food? Fraction on food is 3 over 5. So here, that will give us 3 over 5 times the total, which is what? 6,000. And then 5 will go into F1, 5 will go into 60, that is 12, so we have 0, 0. And this one will give us, that is 3,600. So easy. And then let's see the third one. How much did he spend on rent? Now, what is the fraction for rent? Fraction for rent is 1 over 10. So that will be 1 over 10 times 6,000. Now, this will cancel that. So that will be 600 cedis. This is very, very easy. If you've not subscribed, make sure that you do that. And then the books too that you are seeing on the screen, make sure you get a copy for yourself. We have a whole lot of videos that will help you pass your exams with ease. Now let's consider this example. A man left an estate for his widow and 3 children, Ampedu, Achayo, and Afrifa, to be shared according to the provisions in his will. Afrifa, the youngest son, gets 1/3, and 1/3 of the remaining goes to Achayo. Half of what still remains goes to Ampedu. If Ampedu received 103,500 cedis as his share of the value of the estate, calculate the amount received by each child. Now, let's see. We are being told here clearly, so total fraction on the will, that will be equal to 1. Now, we are being told Afrifa, the youngest son, gets 1/3. So that is Afrifa's fraction. That is 1 over 3. Now let's find the fraction left. So fraction left. Now the total is 1. And then 1 over 3 is given to Afrifa. Hence, this will be equal to, that's 2 over 3. Now let's continue. It says that, and 1/3 of the remaining goes to Achayo. So Achayo's fraction. Now we are being told 1/3 of the remaining. The remaining is 2 over 3. So 1/3 of the remaining goes to Achayo. So 1 times 2, that is 2. 3 times 3, that is 9. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So 3 times 3 giving us 9. Now let's see. It says that Afrifa, the youngest son, gets 1/3, and 1/3 of the remaining goes to Achayo. Okay. Now it says that half of what still remains goes to Ampedu. So fraction still left. Now the total fraction is 1. Now 1 over 3 was given to Afifa, so let's take it out. And then Achayu also had, that is 2 over 9. Now let's find the LCM. The LCM is 9. 3 and 9, 1, 2. The LCM is 9. Now this over 1 will go into 9. 9 times 1, 9. 3 will go into 9. 3 times 1. That's 3. 9 will go into 9. 1 times this, so we have 2. And clearly 9 minus 3, that's 6 minus 2, that's 4. So we have 4 over 9. That's a fraction still left. And then we are being told half of what still remains goes to Ampedu. So that is, therefore, Ampedu's fraction, we are being told half of what still remains. So half times 4 over 9. And this is telling us 2 go here, 1, 2 go into 4, 2 times. So we have 2 over 9. Now, we are being told that if Ampedu received 103,500, hence, Ampedu's fraction will correspond to the amount that is supposed to be given to, that is what Ampedu received. So the fraction, so 2 over 9, this will correspond to the amount received by Ampedu, and then 1, that is the total. Now 2 over 9, 1 is more, so if more, let's divide. So from here, we have our x to be equal to 1 divided by 2 over 9 times 103,500. So we have 1 times 9 over 2 times 103,500. Now when we cancel out and we work it out, we'll be getting, that is 465,750. So this is the total amount. Now let's see, what is the fraction for Achayu? Achayu's fraction is also 2 over 9. Ampedu's fraction is also 2 over 9. Hence, we can say that Achayu's share is the same as what Ampedu had. It's the same thing. Now, so, but then we are supposed to work for a free first share. So a free first share now, what is the fraction for free fact? That is 1 over 3. So 1 over 3 times the total. What is the total? That is 465,750. And when we work out this is giving us, that is 155,250. So 0.00. We shouldn't forget to bring the unit. So that is Ghana cedis and currency, so 0.00. This is very easy. If you've not subscribed, please make sure that you do that and then share the link also with your friends. The books you are seeing on the screen, make sure you get a copy for yourself.